Well, hello and good morning. It's May 21st, a gray and rainy day, so I have some time here to work on this radio. Last couple of sessions I've done with it, I've been very rushed. The very last one, I replaced 4 capacitors. I did them all at once without testing the radio. Then afterwards, I tested the radio, and guess what? It didn't seem to work. So we're going to start today with playing the radio and seeing if for sure it doesn't work, since I could have been doing something inappropriate, if you like. So it's hooked up to the loop antenna here right now, this loop antenna. Let's leave it like that and we'll just give it a go. I have done nothing to it since the last time you saw it at the end of the last video. We'll see what's up. Okay, I can hear a hum. .85 volts. Let's just put it up a little higher. .90 volts. Put at 90 volts. Lots of weird stuff going on here. It is sort of receiving not very well. Oh wow, that's a lot of weirdness. The string is doubling up on itself here. The shaft here has gotten dusty or rusted enough. The string is not sliding properly in it. I'm watching the string now. I'm not paying attention to the radio. What is going on? It's bunged up again. Oh my gosh, the on-off switch is broken. Oh, why did that happen? Oh, that's bad. That's bad. You bad radio man. Every time I touch it, it's going downhill. Oh well, okay. That's not good. I don't like that. That is not good. You should be able to turn things off. So, one of 2 things has happened, or maybe one of 16 things has happened here. Either I made a mistake replacing the capacitors, and I've miswired one, or with the new capacitors in there, the behavior of the radio has shifted so much that we're now getting these other effects. And that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The capacitors I did, they don't affect the tuning of the radio, I don't believe. They don't affect the tuning of the IF. I think I probably made a mistake. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this plug out of here. And we're going to tip this over. And say, hey man, what did you do wrong? This could even be due to outside foil carelessness. So when I'm working with these yellow capacitors, I really don't bother with the outside foil issue, and just put them in. And now I've got a radio that's misbehaving badly. Is it possible one of these guys outside foil is now flipped, and it's become a antenna to some degree, unfortunately. I don't know about that one. There's really only 3 wax capacitors I changed. There's 2 more changed previously, and then that, and that. This one I thought, oh, I know what I've done. I've done this one wrong, but no, I haven't. I haven't done it wrong. Making sure they are very firmly in there. This is the bypass capacitor on the output. Well, I did do one thing different, how I grounded this one. Instead of utilizing this ground terminal, I've just utilized one close in. I can't imagine that's going to make a difference. Oh my, what has gone wrong here? Oh. I am my own worst enemy when I do this stuff. Okay, so I've examined the connections here that I made, and there is one here that looks like a cold joint, this solder joint right here. Is that the problem? Gee, I don't know, but I'm going to solder that back better. And, you know, it's an artifact of rushing. Rushing for the good weather. That certainly is soldered up good now. What about the other end of it? Just take a look with my magnifier here. Well, I got a hot soldering iron handy, so let's. I often preach against doing too many capacitors at once. Often one is all you want to do, and then test the radio again. Here I am in the situation that I'm warning people about. Okay, let's try that. Look at this connection here too. No, that looks soldered. Okay, let's try the radio and we'll see what happens here. Oh my gosh. We'll start with it off, but I don't think it's off. Watch the dim bulbs. It is off. It's not off. It's not plugged in. That's a form of being off. There we go. Switch is off. Switch is not off. Oh boy, do I have another switch like this, you know, with the right size. Volume control, probably not. And furthermore, could I disassemble this and figure out why it's not working? I believe people have done that. That's bad. You've got 100 volts on it. Does it sound better? It does, although that interference just went by there. I think that was it. I think that was it. Okay. Assuming that's it. let's put a better antenna on here. So the loop antenna is a good antenna, but not down here in my shop, surrounded by all this grounded metal and below ground, or slightly below ground here.
Target. Okay, 2.9. Then we're down to 2.7. All right, we're not quite at 2. What does this all mean, though, when it comes to the stuff Doug Ford's talking about? Daily life. Grocery prices.
Yeah. Politicians jumping on the bandwagon of something's going wrong, but they don't have any solutions for it, but they're willing to tell us, hey, that's going wrong. Yeah. So, high inflation. I personally believe inflation is going to remain, and I don't think it's that high. 4. I don't think that's very high, but it's going to remain for a long time now, for various reasons. I don't think, we're all waiting for the interest rate to go back down to 0. That's not going to happen. I can't imagine that happening. You're probably old enough to remember when interest rates, at least here in this country, hit 14%. And when they were 12%, my wife and I took a mortgage out at 12%. Holy smokes. Okay, bad memories. Time long gone by. Okay, so what to do here now? All you really got to do is just the final alignment here. And maybe, I've got the switch now to deal with. Holy smokes. I have a few controls. Why don't we I'm going to turn this off. Let's just look at a few potentiometers I've got. Maybe I've got some with switches. Okay, so here's a bunch of stuff. I've actually never looked through this stuff, although this is a Xbox game controller thing. It's kind of weird, and of course that's for... I must have thrown that in there. What do we got here? Certainly not a volume control. So this, I believe, is a rectifier. Could be copper oxide rectifier or some other type. That's what I think this is. Okay, there are most of my volume controls. I have more. Okay, just looking in here, do I see one with a switch on the back? Yeah, maybe there's more. Oh boy, I got all kinds of them. I've never looked through here. That's strange. Round and round and round she goes. Okay, I'm just going to separate out all the switch ones. Hey, here's a switch right off the back of one. Oh, the switch is right inside this housing. Yeah, I could switch the switch housing. I could keep the same potentiometer, but change the switch on the back. How lucky would I be if I had something like that? Okay, so I'm going to pick through these, and although maybe you're enjoying this, I'll show you how I would do this normally. Push everything over to one side, and then I start going through them, moving them back over this side. Part of that's missing. Here's another switch. Why is the switch in here? So there we are. So this stuff has come from a repair shop that went out of business or closed down 20 years ago. And one day I got a phone call from people who were cleaning out I believe the estate of the person who owned the shop. And they called me up and said, hey, would you have some stuff here, would you be interested? And I said, okay. That has happened to me twice. resistance 10K. Is there a limit? Yeah. Wow. This is some super precise resistor here. Burns 10K. Linear. Put it over there for fun's sake. And so they dumped the remnants of their stock on me. I've got all kinds of switches here. Yeah, I've never sorted through this. I'm gonna have to go through this more carefully. So we're doing a quick thing here. See, a lot of these are brand new. They have not been installed anywhere. They were stock. Kinds of bits and pieces. This is the part that turns against the there's the other part that turns. Wow, I'm gonna have to sort this out properly. I like sorting through stuff anyway. Look at this thing. Really? That's how you're gonna do that? Sounds like something somebody would think up, and the other engineer would say, "You nuts? Don't do it like that." All kinds of shells. There's another one with a switch on the back. Oh my gosh, I had no idea what all was in here. Another one with a switch on the back. And I probably missed a bunch in here. These little teeny tiny guys. Sliders. Piles of sliders. You know, when I start the sorting process, you sort out the oddballs right away. The things you can see very quickly. My technique. Another switch on the back. Just the back. I'll be doing later today. There's another one. You pull on, pull off, volume control. Well, is any one of these going to work? There's so many. I got so many. There's a good chance one of them's going to be close enough. But it has to work on so many levels. The shaft has to be correct length. It's a very long shaft on the radio. It's got to be a long shaft like this. There's a long shaft, but doesn't hook up to it. So there's lots of issues. So these are from. I have another box full of these. From Nordmendy radios. Funny, I should have some in here. Well, you've seen my junk here. I'm just guessing you like looking at junk too, so. But I have to go through this much more thoroughly to. So maybe I've already got one. I've already got a suitable one. Let's see what we got here. What did we end up with? Anything with a long shaft. This one. Long shaft. Not long enough. None of these have a long shaft long enough except for this guy, which is these are not at all the right thing. So then we're into can you change the switch on the back? I would think it would have to be identical to this to fit. And what are the chances? Pretty small. Hey, this is a real quandary here. The broken switch. The other alternative is to install another on-off switch and just run the wires, from this switch to the alternative switch. Can't really be on the front of the radio. Drill through the cabinet. No. So you have to mount it on the back apron somewhere, and then it's a reach around and hit the switch. And this radio's cabinet, I think it has no back. So so you could do that. Want to say it one more time? Have to drill a hole back here. That's probably the most practical solution to the problem. Chances of getting this replaced properly, you still have to get the right resistance here. It's probably marked on this part, but I don't have a schematic, so I can't know ahead of time. It's not showing at the front here. It's a patent number at the front. So we don't even know what the resistance value is here. I have to take it out to find that out. I'm already halfway taking it apart. We got stiff wires running around here. Yeah, very stiff wires. Okay, it sounds like coffee should be drunk at this point, so I am going to go and do that. Just washing my hands before drinking coffee, and there is another solution here, and that is just leave the switch and unplug the radio or plug it in when you want it on or off. And it sounds like a clumsy thing to do, but in fact what that guarantees is the radio is never left plugged in unattended with people thinking it's turned off. Is that a serious risk here? I'm sure it isn't a big risk. It's a tiny risk. But this is an old radio and stuff happens. So maybe that's the best solution. Certainly right now, yeah, that's the solution. Forget about all this. That's a tough road to go down. Probably not even a successful road to go down. Unplugging, plugging in, that's 100% successful. Now, coffee. Okay, after drinking some coffee, decision made. Well, I've got other radios to work on, so I'm not going to make this into a bigger project by trying to deal directly with this. You plug it in, unplug it is a satisfactory solution for this guy, I think. And let's find out what my tester thinks this is. So I'm going to guess we go in the middle and then to the... don't quite do that. Hey, what if I got 3 leads? Let's hook them all up. What do you think it is? Well, it thinks between 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So between this one and this center one, it thinks it's a diode. And IR would be probably reverse leakage current, 11 microamps. This is probably, I don't know what that is, forward drop voltage, 3.35. And no capacitance in it. So I think it is a rectifier. And when I was working at the power company and I was in charge of corrosion control, I can't go into this in any detail because it's a long story, but I had to check up on some rectifiers that were made from copper oxide plates. They look very much like this, only about double the area, and then about 15 of them in a row, stacked in a metal box with open, so air can go through it. Like a screen sort of box on it, so you couldn't touch it. And these things, the power that was, again, it's a long explanation, but let's just say stray current from the transit system that had found itself on water mains and power cable neutrals would flow through these rectifiers back into the station. It's a long story. You're just hearing little bits of it, but so I have seen something like this before. that's really where I'm going with that. Okay, so on the radio here, I think all that's left to do is refine the alignment on it. And wasn't this radio with a metal plate on the bottom? Yes, it is the radio with a metal plate in the bottom. So I'm going to get the plate out or put some kind of plate underneath it. Any piece of metal should do the trick, I would think. And imitate what's inside there. Do I have a piece of metal? Do I have a flat piece of metal like that? Oh, what's this doing here? Okay, I gotta look for some solution here. Okay, bottom plate from another radio. I can put this on top of it. Very heavy radio. Okay, and then the only thing we really need to do is make sure there's a good contact. Gee, what if you just set it on top there? Is that a good contact? We would like to think no. Let's just see. Usually these bottom plates are screwed to the radio in quite a few places. Quite a few locations. Just one screw won't be enough. 0.1 is the 0 today. 0.3. 0.1. Now if this connection's going up and down, of course you can bet that the resistance in this contact is going to change a little bit while I'm fooling around with the radio. Maybe that's going to throw things off. I'll just put a clip lead on there, a couple clip leads maybe. Be absolutely sure that this is making a contact. And there's nothing to adjust underneath. Let me go over here. There's a good spot there. Okay. We don't even know if the metal plate's actually having a bearing on this radio. It may not be. Maybe I can pick it up and put it down. We can find out, but let's not. Let's assume this is good. So to align this properly, I should really have a meter to measure the voltage on the speaker. And since it's right there, looks pretty easy. Oh, I don't have a schematic. Now one of these could be grounded. It's possible. Sometimes they're not. The speaker circuit, on the secondary side of the output transformer is completely isolated from the rest of the radio. Is that the case here? Seems to be the case. You only have to test one side. Since there's a transformer winding there, you see it open like I just saw on one side, same thing on the other. So we want to hook up a voltmeter here, and I'd like to use, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll solve this problem by using this meter. Okay, so this is a solid state meter, similar in function to a vacuum tube voltmeter. It's probably the child of the vacuum tube era. Somebody decided, well, they can't use vacuum tubes anymore, how about a transistor? And so this would be the forerunner of the modern voltmeter, except more modern voltmeters are digital, of course, and I don't like digital meters, especially for doing this kind of work. Actually, I don't mind digital meters, just certain applications where the voltage is varying, the digital voltmeter is hard to interpret. Whereas the pointer here, slight movement, it's going up, it's going down, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we have a voltmeter hooked up. This is very sensitive on the AC scale. We're on the AC scale. Good. Show. Goes right down to 0.3 volts AC, full scale. That's really good. That's really good for what we're doing. Then what are we doing? We're going to try to align this. Do I need to feed in a test signal or just do it off a station? Well, in the old days they would say, you know, use your instrument to get it kind of close and then tune in stations to do the final alignment. Well, we'll just use a station and we'll see what we can do. So we could attempt to tune, let's say 640 or 590 down here. And then we can adjust the local oscillator here to get the pointer on the mark. And we're going on the assumption that these are still aligned. Pretty good assumption. I don't have any doubt about it. The actual alignment things I'm going to do really aren't going to improve the performance of the radio much, but let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to put this down here. 1 volt, full scale. 1 volt's probably pretty loud, volume-wise. Okay. Here, let's try first. No instruments, just a radio station. Now the radio station at 590 is a sports channel. They're almost always talking about sports. It's pretty quick to identify it without doubt. Here comes the noise.
Okay, so a caveat rule. All right, Larry, thanks for the call. Let's go to Mick now in Eastern Ontario. Good morning, Mick. You're on the Alex Pearson
Pretty
Show.
sure this is 640.
The other programming note is that we are 10 to 11 today. Obviously, we're on 1 at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, we're 10 to 12, and moving forward, we've moved to 2 hours. But today, we're going to end a little bit early so we and Jeff Merritt can take you to the Craig Berube presser. So if you're listening and looking ahead to, hey, where
Yeah,
is the
sports.
new head coach talking?
So this is 590. There'll be no strong stations below it.
We'll take you to that around.
The station here, this must be like 540. I think there is a 540 in Buffalo.
Sports at 360.
We're here with Sports Interaction, the sports book and casino.
Yeah, that's definitely a sports channel. Okay, so we'll get ready to change the local oscillator. Here.
What is your favorite deli? What's the deli? The best one?
Tune this the way we want it to go.
100% of the shots.
Because Americans don't know about hockey.
590.
Concerned? Visit connectsontario.ca. You'll experience innovation on the finish line. And with the CRV Hybrid, it's full throttle confidence from track to trail. With real-time all-wheel drive and an efficient 2-motor hybrid powertrain that can get you up to 820 kilometers of range. Not only will it be... It'll get you
Good.
off the beat.
Now we'll go up to 860. See if there's a French station there. Hello. We see 860 is at 840. Now this, we'll use this station. This is the highest station I can get during the day like this with any strength. We'll try the antenna tuning. It's not at the high end where it should be, but let's do it.
Donc on peut très bien comprendre que si cette étape clinique est possible, ben, il est
That made a big difference.
des patients aux soins intensifs qui est une préservation des fonctions cognitives, mais avec aucun moyen.
So this is 820 coming from Hamilton. It's a fairly weak signal. It's good that the station's picking this, radio's picking this up. Go up. 1480. That's 1010. Not sure what that is. 11? I think maybe the scale is really crushing in now because I think this is 1150 here. And the string is what are we going to do about the string here? Darn noise. The fact that it's picking anything up here is very good. Very good. That's just terrible, that noise. Don't know what to do about the string here. But what's going to happen is, as we go along, let me put the close-up camera on it. Because this is a very common problem with radios like this. Very, very common problem. It's not easy to resolve. Well, I was going to do the take it off the plate thing, but we'll do that in a bit. Let's just take a look at the string here. So the string should be wrapping in like one uniform level, but what's going to happen here is I'm going to move this camera because the way it was. Now, unfortunately, we're on the other side of it. Okay, so right about here, it's going to start wrapping on itself. There it goes. See the wrap going over top? And now it's going to get stuck. See the lower string? It can't come out anymore because it's been wrapped over. Now, the string is running in this slot here, if I can call it that. Now, either the slot is made long enough for the string to travel full distance back and forth and never overlap, or they have a U-shaped slot and the string is supposed to slide to the bottom of the U all the time. It's probably how this one's supposed to work. So you have like a valley, and then you have curved walls on the sides, and I'm going to turn the radio down. I can't turn it down. The stress on the string, the tension on the string, should cause the string to slide back to the bottom of the groove, but it's not. Instead, it's coming right out of the groove, and now the angle between the string here and where it's going on gets critical, and the string will decide it's better to just wrap on top of itself. There it goes, right there, and then you're into the tie it up problem. So you can feel this when you're if you're looking at a radio at a yard sale or something like that, and you turn the knob and you get all 3/4 of the way, and then the knob seems to tighten up. See, it's not like a sudden stop, right? You can feel it. If you push harder on this, well, you can kind of pull it out, but you can see you're going to break the string at some point. You're going to wear it out and break it. Solution here, I don't know, increase the tension. This has lots of tension on it already.
I don't want to start on a negative, but I don't feel like I have a lot of choices.
Yeah, I don't want to be negative about this either, but I do have choices. So you could move the string off that and try to buff this part up in here. Fat chance on success with that. Could be the string is replaced, it's too fat. Thinner string might do better. Could rely on the fact that nobody listens to anything at this end of the band anyway. It's all down at the other end. This is a very difficult. This is a silly problem, but really difficult to correct, in my view. Put some oil on it? No, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Oil on the string? There, we're at the end there. Now, look. I sort of ruined the demo. Let's go back here. And then we'll go back until I hit the end of the capacitor run. Okay, so right about where? Right about here. Okay. So now if I turn the knob further, it's going to slip under the string. Now watch what the string does. The string will slide towards the middle of the valley. Thank God it worked, because otherwise I'd have to explain myself. But now you see it's starting off already too far to the right. The right? It's too far. It's wrapping right up on the shaft. That changes the speed of the knob, by the way. But now it's going to want to wrap over. There it goes. Wrapping over and bunging up pretty much the same number every time, around 1300 on the dial. That's the problem. Now, maybe like if you have more tension in the string, so I can do that. I'm just going to push the string down to increase its tension. Ooh, I shouldn't do it there though, because I'll do it on the other side of this pulley here. I'll do it up here. we'll pull tension, and I'm going to break the string. Okay, here we go. We got lots of tension on it now. We go here. I don't think it's going to slide back. Oh yeah, maybe it did. Oh, okay, we're right to the end. So you can see added tension seems to have fixed it, or makes it work better. But that's a lot of tension. The other thing that can make it work better, let me go all the way to the end here. Keep the tension on. I use the string to buff it. So keep turning. Now, see, the thing is, these knobs, or this arrangement of the string wrapped around it, if you turn in one direction, it actually tightens its grip. That's what's happening. When I go this way, it tightens its grip. I'm not going to get it to slip. So if we go all the way to the other end, or stop in the middle, and I will hold the string. I will freeze the string and try to get that thing to, yeah, like that. So the idea here is I'm using the string to polish the metal. Sounds like a pretty crude approach to things, so I'm like, don't want it. Okay, we're at the end. Sooner or later the string will break. This whole thing will become a moot point. Okay, go back. No extra tension. And it looped over. Well, so the tension's coming from this spring here. Okay, I'm going to increase the tension by pulling the string. How come the spring is not moving at all? The pointer's moving. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of back pressure, a lot of friction, all kinds of things. But you don't want it much tighter than that. Let's look around here. Don't forget the radio's on. Autofocus, an enemy of mine. Looks like the string goes around a knife blade there. Well, it looks like there's three pieces of string heading up. What's going on? Let me fix the focus here, or I'm going to go berserk very quickly. Let's focus on the stamp there. DBLL. I wonder what that stood for. Okay, so I gotta do. So just bear with me while I take care of this. I'm just calling up, as I've done so many times on my videos, the dialog box to control the camera and turn off the autofocus. I think that's good. It'll be frozen there now. Okay. What was I looking at? I was looking at this weird, looked like 3 pieces of string. One of them maybe is just a loose. Yeah, it's just a loose end. It's nothing. Okay, that makes sense. 2 come up here. Are they close to breaking? They shouldn't really drag over the surface. Okay, let's look at it upside down here. Maybe I can get it from the front better. Yeah, from the front. Well, it doesn't look like it's close to breaking. So friction here and all along this rusty wheel can keep the spring from really pulling with all its might. It can get stuck. I don't think that's the case here, because the spring is just about completely collapsed. That's really where we're at. So where the tension's coming from, there's just not much left in here. Now, can I easily up the tension? So can you see that there's a split in the spring right here? And it's just possible. I don't think so though, but you could pull the spring down and rehook it. in the middle of it. In the middle. And get a little more tension on it. Yeah, this really looks like a knife edge here. Don't push on it. It's an ugly business doing that. What I'm talking about is pulling the spring off, hanging on to it, bending a new clip maybe halfway up here, and then putting the spring back on. Or just pulling the spring tight and hooking it right here where the gap is. Wow, how much pull is there on that spring? So let me get a tool here. I will find out if I can. I don't want to damage the string right there. Well, let's pull it up here. Just grab it anywhere up in here. Okay. There's nothing. There's no pull. And there's no spring. It's over here now. The spring has made a run for it. The spring is sprung. Okay, very carefully now not to lose control of everything. I'm trying to hold the camera and move the spring at the same time. Okay, let me put that down. I don't think we need the close-up now. You know what I'm up to. If I'm going to try to hook that thing back onto here, we'll need tighter. Hook that thing. Get on there. Now the spring is stretched. Might take a couple of rotates to get the spring to fully, I guess, relax might be the word for it. Right around. Oh, you know, it's bunging up earlier now. Here instead of here. That didn't work worth a hoot. Let me just reset it one time. Okay, what do you do? Sometimes you can go back and forth. You can get it to work its way across. Not in this one. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Such a, really a simple problem. Is this what the spring is pulling on? This is, no, this is just going over the top here. Top surface, is it? I thought I saw 2 strings leaving this. Okay, change cameras again. I'm missing a string here. So the 2 strings, yeah, 2 strings coming out, one going this way. I just couldn't see it with my eyes going past this. So this string here is just running over the surface, I think. Is it? Maybe not. Yeah, it's not. It's not just running over the surface. Okay, I'm going to pull this just a little higher. So what's happening is this string is coming down and going all the way around and in. And is this the one that's on the spring? It is not. The spring is on this one, which comes around. Did I just confuse myself? I think I did. Let's try this again. This string comes around. Yeah, this one comes around, goes past. comes down here. Coming down, getting in the back. Oh, looping over, twisted all around. Oh, a little more light here. Just turn this blaster on. That's not going to help here. Above the flashlight. Oh my gosh. Well, that can't be good. Many times looped around. Okay, so what's happening with that? So the loop around is just being carried. Did it start? Oh, look at the angle there. So the same sort of thing is happening up in here. Only, oh my gosh. It's just a piece of string, for crying out loud. Okay, well, I gotta go have a little coffee and decide what I'm gonna try to do here. Half an hour? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna look and see if this is a tangle up that will untangle itself. Not the good. Here it's going under. I can pull it out. I'm at the end of the run now. Yep, that's all it was. It's just tangled on itself. Okay, so that's untangled now. Well, way up on the shaft. And there it goes over top of itself. You can actually see the string just leave. Now what we want to do is reset the string back down in the groove. Okay, let's slip it a bit. Polishing. No, it's not staying in the groove. It's climbing up on the shaft. That's swinging the string too far forward. The angle's getting too steep, and then it's choosing to go over top of itself. Right about here. Right about here. Hey, it didn't do it. Didn't do it. Fixed it. Oh, went over right at the very end. That's not bad. Can accept that. Let's try a little bit of a polish up with the string. Of course, using the string to polish the metal is probably a form of cutting the string. Is it? Don't bung up the other way. It's working on the other side. The string has walked all the way to the far side of the U-shaped valley, and it's sliding back as I go. Actually, I got to the end, gave a bit of a turn, released the pressure on the string for a moment, and the thing fell right into the groove. Exciting, eh? Now we'll go back this way. Come on, man, you can do it. Stay in the groove. Yeah, there's a song like that, isn't there? In the groove. Oh, I think it went over, but we're way up here. One more time. Now the thing is, I'm turning the shaft here with my fingers on the shaft. The leverage I'm getting is very low. But when I put the knob on, when you have this much leverage, you have a lot of power to snap the string or drive it further than you might think. It's working. She's working. So another possibility here is the capacitor has shifted also. And this would move the alignment here back and forth. But this looks pretty darn straight. Sometimes you can even tighten the string so much it pulls the capacitor. The capacitor can be mounted on grommets and it has a little bit of play in it. They can pull it. You get it too tight, pull it enough to misalign everything, and you're into trouble. Strings. If somebody told me, "Oh, you're going to fix old radios, are you? Well, you're going to learn a lot about strings," I would have said, "What are you talking about? I'm working on vacuum tubes." There we are. She's all done. The switch problem, I'm not going to try to fix it. We'll rely on the plug it in, unplug it thing. And yeah, that's not bad. Let's just tune in something more pleasant here, like an advertisement.
APR for up to 24 months with 4,300 down. That's
fantastic.
28 biweekly. Visit your Toronto area.
What if it's off the plate now? Let's tune in a weak station. Okay, that's Hamilton. I'm going to try to lift this off this plate. First I'm going to remove the connection here. This is a comedy channel. I'm going to try to lift this off the plate and we'll see if suddenly it changes. I doubt it. Oh, got this on here. That's okay. We'll leave it like that. I'm safer with this on here. Not a thing. Not a thing. Okay. That's good. Turn this down there. I'm kind of blasting the sound away. Okay. I'm going to put it back in its cabinet. And I'm going to declare this done. Fantastic. Well, try as I may, I cannot find the knobs. Whatever I did with the knobs, who knows, they'll show up at some point. So we're going to test it without the knobs and see what this looks like. And away we go. Let's see how bright the screen is. Just going to turn off my overhead light here. I can see the lighting now. Maybe if I kill these lights too. There we are.
Hey, did somebody just found a quote and put it in the flyer for him?
Talk about, we're going to look at all the areas. I know there's
590, 610, 640, 680, 740 wiped out by the interference. Very good. Now, can I see to get the light back on? Here we go. Good enough. That's definitely good enough. Very good. Okay, well, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll have another radio in here tomorrow, probably. See ya. Oh, thanks for clicking the like button. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super thanks. See ya.